Welcome to episode 8 of the tutorial series Livewire from Scratch. My name is William Juma. In this episode, we will learn about uploading and downloading files using Laravel Livewire. I would like us to create file upload Livewire component, and for us to be able to do that, we are going to run the command in terminal. So I would like to open another terminal. We are going to run the command php artisan make livewire, and then the name of our component, in this case let me call it upload file, or maybe we can just call it file upload, like that. And remember, the word upload is a reserved word, so you cannot be able to just use upload, whether in your properties or even within your Livewire class. So here we have been able to create two files, the class, which is file upload, and we have been able to create the view, which is upload.blade. I would also like to go ahead and also do a little bit more. I'd like to create the models. So in this case, we can do php artisan make model, and sort of the model is the one that will be able to connect us to the database, or in other words, our table in the database. And I would also want us to create the same. So here we are going to have a model called file upload. As you can see, I'm only capitalizing the F, and I want to tag migration such that we also create the migration file. So let me do that. So now we have file upload created and also the migration. So inside here, I would like to, inside our models, we will go to app models. We have file upload model, and then I want us to just allow mass assignment, and we are going to do that by doing protected fillable, like that. And then inside our table we will have the file name. I do not know if I should call it title or name, and then we should have file path, just those two. So path of the file is where we have stored the file. The name of the file is whatever it is that we will type in our input. Now let us go ahead to our database migration. So database is a folder, then migrations, and then we will scroll to the last migration here, this one. This one is our file uploads migration, and I would like us to create two columns in this table. So table string, the data type for each of these is just string, and here I will call it name. And then of course we can be able to copy that, and we will call this path, like that, where we have stored our file. So basically that one is okay. I would like us to go ahead and do our migration. So I will just run the command php artisan migrate. The reason why I'm also doing the table is because when we upload, at least we will have somewhere where we show people when we are downloading, but uploading does not require you to entirely have a table. But if you are uploading what will be downloaded eventually, you can have a table and show the files such that a user can be able to go ahead and download. I would like us to go back to our Livewire class, the class that we created, and we are going to do some few modifications to it. So what we are going to do, we are going to open Livewire and then file upload, this class here. I would like to extend this a bit such that we can be able to see clearly. The first thing that I have to import here, and I will only import one thing, I import the others if we have something to do with it. So I can be able to use a trait called with file uploads. So this is the one that under the hood does the upload for us. So with file upload, with file uploads, and then of course I have to import that right here. So use Livewire with file uploads, and basically once we do that, then we are almost set for us to be able to upload a file. I want us to have two properties. So the first property, I'm going to call it name, so public name. And the next property that you have is a property that is called path. So in this case, the path of the file. I would also like to have the rule validation. We have learned about validation. So if I do like this, you can be able to understand if you have followed the previous tutorials. So rule, then we can put our rules here. So the name should be required like that. And then the path, we can leave it like that. But we also need to have another property which we are going to call file. So let me declare it here, public. And this one is the one that now will handle our file. You can call it anything. I've decided to just call it file, and let me put the validation rule. And inside here we can be able to say that what we are uploading is maybe a file, and then the meme types, I want us to allow us to be able to upload PDF, and we can also be able to upload a file ending with DOC and a file ending with DOCX. These ones are just Microsoft Word files. We can be able also to set a maximum upload, because if you do not set this, when somebody uploads a file, you will have issues. You might find that the memory is totally consumed and you will need to, your app will break. So basically this is what we have. And because we are using the rule attributes, we must import it. So we can say use Livewire attributes rule, like that. You can save it. So basically that will enable us to be able to use that rule. I would like us to go to our view and be able to do some modifications there. And inside our view, I would like us to have a form that we are going to use to show to the user. So here for the title, maybe I can just type in here file upload, like that. And inside here, I would like us to have our form, and so we can be able to, I want to give this one a class of offset 3 and column 6, just to style our form a little bit to make it move towards the center. And then now we can have form and close that form tag. Inside here we can have a div, with a class of MB3. We can be able to close this div too, like that. But I would like to copy this twice, because we will actually be needing it for two inputs. One of the inputs is the file name, and then the other input will actually be the file. So inside here, I want us to have a label. We will close it, and we want it to have a class of form label. Remember when we started in our first episode, we're actually using Bootstrap. So these classes that I'm putting here are Bootstrap classes, and here I want to just say name. So in this case, the name of the file, or maybe I can call it file name, whatever it is that you'd want to do with that. And then we have the input. Type is a text, and then the class is a form control, like that. And then I think that is good enough. So in fact, instead of having this other one below here, I just like to copy this and paste it here. Obviously we will need a button, so button, we will close it, and then of course I want us to have a class of btn primary, like that. So that is our button, and the name of the button is save or upload, like that. Maybe let me just call it save, or maybe submit, doesn't really matter. So we have our form. I would like us to know how it displays. So for us to be able to display a full page component, we will be able to create a routing a route in web.php. So this one I'm going to call it upload, maybe file upload. And then the class is going to be, actually the class that we have here, what have we called it? File upload class. File upload, like that. And then of course we have to import that class here, or else we'll be forced to write it full. So here we are going to have it as file upload, and this is just the name, the way I have named it in my Livewire class. I mean the way I've named my Livewire class, just that. So once we save this, I think we can be able to look at our form. So instead of looking at a drop down, I would like us to look at file upload. Don't know if I've written it singular, yeah, plural, yes. So you can see it's just a nice form. Obviously I need to modify it, and so let us go ahead and do that. So inside here, this first one is text, this other input is a file. So input type file, and the name here is a file, maybe file, like that. And then on top of that, I would like this form to be submitted to a method called save. So here we can have wire. Now we are doing Livewire, wire submit, and we can have save, like that. In this input we can have wire model, and I think we have an input, a property called name, and then this one here we can have wire model, and we have a property called file. I also would like us to handle the errors. So for us to be able to handle the errors, we are going to just have it here at error. So in this case, if we have an error, maybe I can use a div. Let me just wrap it with a div. So you have a div. And then inside here now we can be able to have our error. So at error, and this error will be belonging to name. Then if we have that, we can have a span, and then the span we have a class of alert. Maybe we can just have it text changer. And then we can have the name of the error that you be passed in here. So the error is passed in as message. So we will have message like that. And then of course we have to end the error. So at end error like that. So I will also copy this and also paste it here where we have file there, and change this to file. So after that, now our form is able to be submitted to the backend, and I want us to handle saving the file. So in this case, after we were able to create our migrations, I do not know if we were able to migrate. Let me just do that because it seems might have forgotten. So terminal, new terminal. I just like to migrate our tables, PHP artisan migrate. And actually what this will do is just that it is going to copy the newly created table, nothing to migrate. It seems I had migrated it before, so that is okay. Now let us go to our file upload class and be able to have a method that we are going to use to save. So public function save, and now in this method what we are going to have, we are going to now pass in our form and be able to save it. So what we are going to do, we are going to first of all validate. So we can say this validate. Remember we have already stated our rules, so everything is fine. If I attempt to submit, maybe I can refresh and then attempt to submit. Now you can see the validation errors already are being thrown around. Now after that we can go ahead and save, and for us to be able to save, we can just upload the file. So we can just say this file, this file store like that, and we can say where we want to store our file. So in this case I want us to store it in a folder called my files. It is not yet created, but Laravel will be able to create for us this file. But since I want to get the path, I can be able to store whatever it is that you're getting here in our path property. Remember we are not passing the path property, so maybe from the form. So this path like that. So this path will be given by us storing, but this command will be able to do two things for us. It will save the file in my files, and it will also give us that path such that we can be able to save it in the database. Then from there I can go ahead and use our model. So in this case, what is the name of our model? It's called file upload. File upload, and now we can say create. Then inside here we can have an array of values. So the first thing that we are creating is a name, and the name value is found in the property name. so we can refer it to as this name. And then we have the path, and the path we are going to refer it to as this path, like that. And so basically that will be able to save this file for us. I would like to then go ahead and maybe flash a message, so we can say session flash, a session message, and here we can have it having a status. We can even call it success, but I will be doing a tutorial video on flash messaging, so we will be able to talk about everything, but this one I do not want to complicate it so much, so we call it status file uploaded, like that. And then maybe we can be able to reset our form, so we can have these reset. But remember, if we have it like this, it will not be able to reset our file input. Maybe we can do a redirect such that it sort of does a reload, but I'm not at that point of talking about redirects. I have a tutorial video which we will talk about that in detail. So now you want us to be able to handle our flash messaging in our view. So in file upload view, I would like us to handle the flash messaging, so maybe we can be able to put the session message immediately before the form. And what we are going to have is that if session has a status, a key called status, we'll be able to end this if, like that. And then inside here we can have a div with a class of alert, alert success, like that. And then we can be able to close that div. Inside here we can be able to pass our status, so in this case using the mustache braces we can have session status. Basically this will be able to display if our file is uploaded. So let us attempt and see if we can be able to upload a file, and I want to give it a name of file 1, just like that, and then choose any file within my machine. We actually have a file here called episode 8. I want to upload it, submit. Now when we submit, we have not been able to import our model inside this class. I had remembered, but it skipped my mind. So inside our Livewire class we need to have the file, what do we call it? Yes, the file upload model imported. So we can say use app models file upload, like that. And that is the reason why we had the error. I do not know why I'm having an error. It seems I'm having an error. What is the problem? App Livewire file upload. It seems I'm having a challenge between App Livewire file upload. I'm having a challenge between the name that I gave my class and the name that I gave my model. So it seems there's a conflict. In this case, I would like to do what now? I would like to modify my model. I create another model. In this case, some of these things usually actually happen. So PHP artisan make model upload file. I'm creating a new model. I will tag the migration because now it seems we have an issue. So with file uploads, having an issue. You cannot declare file upload because the name is already in use. Yeah, it's the error that we are getting here. So let me just comment out these app models. As you can see, it's possible for you to have a conflict within the naming. So let me attempt again and be able to create a model called upload file. Now our model has been created together with the migration. So again, I'm going to now modify the new model. So we will go to app models, upload file. Now this one is what we have, and in fact I can be able to just copy what we have here, the protected fillable. I can copy and then we put it in our model called upload file here. Now it seems there is a model that we will not be using. Probably we can be able to delete it entirely. Also in the database, we will go to migrations. The previous migration was the one that had our data. I would like to copy it and paste it in our new table that has been created like that. So basically we have been able to go around that. I can be able to do migration PHP artisan migrate like that, and now upload files table has been migrated. So it has been sort of like a workaround. So let us go back and continue with our work, and I want to go to the file upload livewire class here, and now the model that we are importing is now not file upload but upload file like that. I think it's good that we have been able to see that a conflict can be able to bring issues. So I will also change the model here to upload files. Upload file like that, not files, upload file, singular, like that. And I think now we are good. Let us attempt to upload our file again. So I will call it file1, and then we will choose the file. I will upload a similar file that we had. Obviously, probably we will be uploading two of them. Now you can see file uploaded, so meaning everything has worked. I would like us to display the files that we have uploaded down here. So I'm going to create a table inside our Livewire view file upload. So here I would like, after the form, we can be able to have a table, and so here I can say table. We can close it. We can give the table a class of table, just like that. And inside here we have the table head. You can be able to close the table head like that. Inside the table head, I want us to have a row, table row, and inside the table row I would like us to have some headings. So the first one is a table head, and I want us to have a scope of a row, like that. I mean a scope of column. A scope of column, like that. And then we can be able to close our table head like that. And for this one, we are going to have just the numbering sort of. And then after that, I would like us to have two more. The other one will have name. That is the name of the file. The other one now is going to have action. In this case, we have a download button. So I just call it action, like that. Now we can go to table body. So here we can have T body, like that. And then inside here, I want us to have a table row. And close the table row. And then inside the table row, we can be able to have table data. Maybe the first one, we can just give it a class of table head and a scope of row. And then of course, this one is where we will have the numbering. So maybe I can just put a number here. We will be able to do something about it in due time. And the others can be just table data without anything. So you close this and we just need one more, just like that. And so here I can say my name, and then here we can have a button for us to download. So I can have a button and close the button and give it a class of btn success, btn small, to just make it a little bit small. The name of the button should be download, just like that. I would like us to refresh our table and see how it looks, our component, and see how it looks like. Yes, we have a table that has a file name and download. Now I want us to go to the, what do we call it, the Livewire class, and be able to handle, in other words, display whatever it is that we can be able to show in this table that we have. So I will open file upload.php, and inside here, what I would like to do, I would like to declare a public property which is called downloads. Just allow me to do that. Sometimes if you have something clear that you are working with, your property can be able to look similar to whatever it is that you're working with. So public downloads. I would like us to have a mount function. In this function is where we will be declaring our downloads. So in this case, we can say this downloads, and then we can set it to, the name of our model was upload file. So in this case, upload file, full colon all, just to sort of like fetch for us all our records. Obviously, at the end of everything, in terms of if you're fetching records from the database, you have to have the mind of this. In other words, your query is not being heavy. So a query like all is actually somehow heavy. But in this case, whatever it is that is in the database, we need all of it. But in this case, we can also be able to just specify the name and the path. So it's important for me to mention that, even though that is not exactly what I'm all about. Now, because we have been able to access the downloads, I can be able to show the downloads inside our table. So let us go back to file upload, and inside the place where we're having inside the table body, I can have a for each loop here, for each. You can see the goodness with Livewire is that you can just be able to continue with your knowledge of Blade. So for downloads, as download, and here I want us to have download name. So first of all, here we can be able to end the loop. So at end for each, and then after that, for the first value, which is the sort of like the ID, I'm just going to put the loop index, and this one we just loop through our index and check and assign values 0, 1, 2, like that. So since I want the first value to be 1, I will just add +1. And then in this one here, we are going to have our name. So I will pass in download name. Download name. And then of course, this is just a button. I'm going to give it an action. So we can say wire click. So when this button is clicked, I want us to go to a method, and let me call the method download file, but also pass in the ID of our file. So in this case, download file, like that. So once I do like that, I need to have a method that is called download file in my Livewire class. But first of all, I would just like to know if it's fetching anything from the database. And yes, you can see we have file 1 with an index of with a numbering of 1, and then we have the download button. So I would like to upload file 2, and choose file here. What I would like to do is maybe choose this one and submit. It says for each must be an array. Null is given. I do not know why that is the case. I faced such a thing sometime, but obviously you can see that our file has been saved. I believe it's possible because I am doing in our file upload, I am doing this reset. So when I do this reset, it's resetting downloads. So I would like us to just reset the name only. We can go ahead and maybe reset the name, maybe reset the file, just those two, instead of resetting even the downloads, because that is the reason why I have figured why it is giving us that. So basically we can have that, or else it's also possible for us to just do a whole file page reload. Maybe we can do a page reload. If we are to do a page reload, then we are going to say this redirect, and then we are going to state where it's going to, and I think we have file upload, and then on top of that we can be able to set navigate to true, like that. So instead of having it like that, we can just do it this way, and we can be able to return such that it does the reload for us. I believe that will work for us perfectly. So let us attempt to refresh again. Now I have two files. I want us to upload file number 3. File 3, choose file. I will scroll and get, because I just need either a PDF file or a Word file. Maybe I can pick this one. because those ones are the ones that we have set to be allowed to be uploadable. So we can click submit. Now the page has reloaded and we have the file displayed here, and we also have the flash message. So I want us to work on downloading. So if we click this button right now, there's no method to handle it. You can see unable to call component method because it doesn't exist. So let us go and have that method. We are going to have public function download file. That is how I have called it. When we click that button, and so let me just extend this such that the code may be a little bit more visible, and for us to be able to download a file, I want us to just check if the file exists, and then if it exists, we can be able to go ahead and download it. So we can say if storage disk, and now here you can see I'm specifying which disk we are working with. So in this case we are working with the local. So if it is S3, you can be able to say it like that. So we can say exists, and then we can pass in the file, the place where the file has been saved. So in this case, because I'll be passing the ID of the file, I can be able to use a dependency injection and just have upload file because it's the name of the model, and then a variable upload file. And of course this one now will be able to get for us the data of that single file. So in this case I can just check it as follows: upload file path. In this case now it's a location of our file. So if it exists, if in that path there is a file that exists that has the file name that we set, then I want us to download. So we can say return storage download. And remember, there are so many ways in which you can be able to do this. So then we can pass in the upload file path. Let me just copy this and paste it in here. We can pass in the path, and we can also decide to change the name now to the name that we saved our file with. So in this case, I can say upload file name like that. Basically, that will be able to download. Otherwise, if the file does not exist, I would just like us to have a session message, session flash, with a status file not found, like that. So if this condition is not satisfied, and maybe inside here I can also flash a message before we do the return. Can be able to flash a message that file is downloading, so something of that sort. So we can say file is downloading, like that. And then this one, file not found, I have to close this one, the semicolon, like that. I would like us to go ahead and attempt, and we are having a problem. Yes, I think here we need also to close the semicolon. Yes, everything seems to be fine. I want us to refresh. Now I want us to attempt to download a file. Yes, we need to import the storage facade. I don't know why I forgot. So let us go to file upload.php, and above here we can be able to import storage facade. And what we are going to do is just type in use illuminate support facades storage, like that. Basically that will be good enough. So let me refresh again to remove our error and then attempt to download. It's saying that the argument should be string and what is given. Let me just do a little bit of debug on our code. Before we do the download, I would like to see if there's something called upload file. So I want to dd upload file like that and see if there's something that is being returned, such that we can be able to see if everything is fine. So download, and now we can see we are having an array with two values, the name and path, and that, but it's not passing in our file. Why is that? It's not passing in our file. Let me attempt and check. Were we passing in the model in our component? So file upload, wire click, download file, and here we are passing in, oh, I did a mistake. Here we are supposed to pass in ID, download ID. I don't know what I was doing when I was typing that. We have download name and download ID. That's the reason why we have gone through that error. So let me refresh. Now when we click download file 3, now you can see we are having the data of that file. So I think from there it is possible for us to download a file. I want to go to upload class and be able to comment out our dump and die with the thing that we were using to do sort of debugging. And now I want to download file 3. Now file is downloading and the file is here and the name is file 3. I want to download file 2. It's downloading and the name is file 2. I want to download file 1. It's downloading and the name is file 1. Thank you very much for following this tutorial episode up until this point. And this means this is the end of the tutorial episode. If you are not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell, because by doing so you'll be notified when I upload another awesome video. If you like the episode, you can give it a thumbs up and you can also share it. Thank you.